Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Kiwanis Connects. We are coming to you from all over the country, coming to you from Virginia, California, and upstate New York, and Las Vegas. And you know what? We are happy that you're joining us today. You know why? Because it's almost that time of year when we get to turn the calendar to 2026. We're celebrating Hanukkah. Hanukkah Harry's here in the house. We got Christmas. We got Kwanzaa. We got Eric Paul. We got everybody in the house. And you know what? We're celebrating Kiwanis like we do each and every Friday at this time. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're going to watch us on Sunday at 8 a.m. on WWDBTV.com, we thank you in advance. You know why? Because this is the best doggone show about Kiwanis there ever is, was, and could ever be. That's right. I said that. Thank you for joining us. Doc Val, how are you today? I'm psyched today.
Aloha. I am doing great. You know, it's when I look out the windows and I see how beautiful it is, and then I watch the news and I'm like, so I'm thrilled that we're here. And one of my long-term friends said yes, so that makes me happy. So I'm like, Eric Paul, how are you?
I am great, and thank you for the opportunity to join you this morning. It's noon, it's afternoon here in upstate New York, but still.
Yep.
Thrilled to be here.
Val is just working on her 12th cup of coffee. It's still morning time over there. That's why. Hey, by the way, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I only do one caffeinated coffee. Most people think I drink coffee all day long, and it's like I only do one caffeinated, and the rest of the time it's decaf.
That's understandable. That's understandable. But you are so full of energy when it comes to Kiwanis and everything. You don't really need caffeine.
Nah, don't need it.
Hey, by the way, before we move on with Eric, I was remiss at the top of my excitement to welcome everybody to remind you all that without the following businesses and sponsors, this show would be a lot more difficult to put on because we would have no airtime. Anyway, bookvending.com. We want to thank Connor and Company, actually up in Eric Paul's neighborhood up that way, up in that Buffalo area. So if you want to have a vending machine filled with books that your students in elementary or anywhere, it doesn't even have to be in a school. It could be somewhere like a YMCA or maybe in your garage. I don't know, whatever you want to do. They fill the books up. The students earn coins that they then put into the machine and have their own book. We want to thank Comfort Care, Virginia Beach. When you need companion care for the loved one who just needs a little extra help and give you a little bit of a break, call Tiffany at Comfort Care, Virginia Beach. And Different Strokes 757. Even though he's based here in Virginia Beach, I do know he has a go bag and can go anywhere in the country that you're willing to bring him to. He is a handyman by trade, but he can take care of everything from floor to roof, inside and out. He's been doing this for over 40 years. And when I tell you his work is yeoman-like, it is yeoman-like. All right. How to take care of that? Otherwise, the sponsors would not be happy and would probably stop payment on their checks. So I had to cover that. Anyway, which would really not be good for stocking stuffers. Okay. With that, let's get to Eric. Eric is up in upstate New York. He has assured us that what was white last night because the rain is now green. So anybody worried about that? As a matter of fact, Kathy Zamansky's up in your area too, I think.
She's in the area about 90 miles down Route 90. Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Route 90 and I are like this from my days at Barron College when I used to fly back to Newark Airport out of Buffalo. Right. Saw Howard Cosell and Dan John Meredith once up there, but that's a whole nother. That was a lifetime ago. Anyway, go ahead, Doc. I had to get that business in. Go for it.
Well, I love it. You know, there's always that 2 or 3 degrees of separation because I used to work out in Stony Brook on Long Island.
Okay.
And so got a chance to hang out with you.
At the SUNY out there.
It is the big SUNY out there at the medical school and everything. And so tell us a little bit about how you got into Kiwanis, Eric Paul. It's just like I think about I've seen you, but I don't know your story.
Oh, I'm a lifer. I mean, I started out in Key Club. I started out in Key Club in high school. My brother said, You're in the high school now. You and your friends have to join Key Club. We need underclassmen. I said, okay. So I got involved because I had, I was the usual gentleman of substance even at that age. And, doing wrestling and football and stuff like that. But then I got hurt and I couldn't really do it anymore. I woke up one morning, my shoulders were like this. My parents said, what are you doing? So I got into Key Club and I was lucky. It was my local Kiwanis club. There weren't many in the area, but they just decided to sponsor a new Key Club and they did it. And my brother was a senior. I was a sophomore and I got into it and was an officer and editor and lieutenant governor my senior year of high school, which really opened the door for me to see a lot more and travel around. And I went to an international convention in New Orleans, 3,000 young men with nothing to do but look, not go to workshops, but, look for something else going on. Yeah, it was an experience. But then after high school, I went off to the University of Albany. It's the other big SUNY, and knew no one else from my school went there, but I got together with a few other former Key Clubbers, and we found a couple of transferred Circle Kers from elsewhere. We started Circle K the first month I was there. And I was charter secretary and then district secretary, and then I served as governor. And then in my senior year at Albany, I was Circle K national vice president. And
Very
which is fun
cool.
because I still get together with my board from that year. We just had a reunion this year, and we all met in Phoenix. We've gotten together in Alabama. We've gotten together in St. Louis. So we're already planning our next reunion for the Ozarks for next year. But I enjoy. So naturally, after grad school and everything, I joined my local Kiwanis club, and I've been as active as I could be the last 40 plus years. Going through the presidency, lieutenant governor twice, governor back 14, 15 with Alan Guire from Cal Napa.
Absolutely. First time I was listening to governor.
Under John Button when he was president. And then since that, I worked with the formula. Mainly I switched because my first number of years in Kiwanis, I was big with sponsored youth. I was a assistant administrator of Circle K and then Key Club, and then with K Kids. But then after I was governor, I went more to membership and did formula and did the Northeast Formula Chair and been on the club builds, and I still do a lot of that. And I think we're unique in New York because we do a weekly membership call on Thursday morning on Zoom at 7:30 in the morning, and from all over the district. And we go through an agenda, who's doing what and who's scheduling what. And you really don't have the opportunity to put things off, by not reporting, by reporting once a month, every week. What's going on? What's next? What do you need? Who can come out and help? Who's doing this? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And, that's the positive of Kiwanis is that everybody tries something different and does something different. And, so that's been the bulk of my activity since being governor. And
very cool.
It's
very cool. Aaron, I know that you had a couple questions, so we're going to have you jump in.
Yeah, I was just, Eric, I was the same way. I was a founding member of my Key Club back in high school. I went to Circle K at Penn State, down at State College, and of course, a longtime Kiwanian as well. I'm interested in knowing what was your favorite part of being a part of each of those three different phases? When you were in Key Club, what did you enjoy the most? When you were in Circle K, what did you enjoy the most? And now that you've been a longtime Kiwanian and held many positions, what was your favorite thing on each different level that you experienced within the K family?
Being in a service group was kind of different. I remember my first major project in Key Club. We went to sing at the local developmental center. We went to sing Christmas carols. We didn't know any Hanukkah carols back then, but to sing Christmas carols. And I remember, seeing the people there and interacting with the group. I said, when somebody came up to me and said, well, thank you for being here. No one else really comes to see us. And that really turned the page for me. I said, well, this is a good thing. This is great. I enjoy this. So I keep doing it. And then Circle Key, and getting into Key Club more, and then being, traveling around was a big thing for me. I think the first time I flew was good to go from here to New York City for a Key Club board meeting out on Long Island. The first time I took a train was to go to a Key Club board meeting in all south of Albany. Just the experiences. And then in Circle K, the traveling along and the responsibility to be on my own. Here I was 300 miles from home. I was in Albany, home of suburban Buffalo, and driving back and my car breaking down and trying to put up with experiences and seeing people and going here and going there and having $5 in my pocket, but driving 200 miles, that kind of stuff. You couldn't even do today. But the experiences, I think the positives of going here and there and meeting people and seeing different events was a big thing for me. And then when I got into Kiwanis, I wanted to be one of the Kiwanians that the students look to, and an advisor, and show them how the good times they can have, like I did when I went through the program. That was big for me.
And that's the old philosophy of paying it forward. And I
Right.
remember when I became a Kiwanian, my wife and I, who's also a Kiwanian with me, we were Key Club advisors, and there was nothing better than when you could sit down with these Key Clubbers and even some Circle K we advised as well, and you share your experiences with them. And that's one word you actually used on all three levels that I think as we get to Kiwanis level after a while, we all sort of get stunted in a way. You kind of get into that rut and routine, and the experiences become so routine that we don't enjoy them anymore.
Right.
And so one of the things that we have to do, I think, as Kiwanians individually, we have to refine what our why and passion is so that those experiences become something again. And also, too, we have to make sure that our club continues to provide new experiences, because why? We have new faces that we want to bring in. And if we keep doing the same old, our existing members who keep doing that don't show the excitement at these events when new people come in.
Exactly.
So I love that word experience that you used on all three levels. And of course, we know Builders Club, those kids are going to have those same experiences. And I was interested in seeing if there was a parallel between all of your experiences. Now, that your experiences, the word experience was the experience I was looking for. And that's a plethora of experiences. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, I enjoyed it. And one of the things I enjoyed more when I worked with Key Club and as assistant, I was first assistant, whatever, out here. But the change, we work with the district board, and the change from April to March, the shy, quiet kids, the outgoing kids, the forward kids, whatever, some wouldn't say boo. We made them stand up and give a presentation as if they were in front of a Kiwanis club. We showed them how to do this. A different workshop thing, not even workshops, just like helps. Like we wouldn't just let them go. He'd say, I can't hear you. Stand up.
Right.
Get your hands out of your pockets. Check your tie. Louder. That kind of thing. And then by the time we got to our convention in March, they were all strong, almost adults, and they were good at what they did, and they enjoyed it. And I think that they appreciated the experience, and that felt good to be one of those mentors, I guess, doing that then.
It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? It's like when you look at when they start in Builders Club and they go all the way through the process, or K Kids, and you see these little dynamos that, like you said, they start off shy, but then they take over, and it is an amazing progression.
Yes.
And we've got a couple of Key Clubbers that joined back into our Kiwanis Club, and they're like, well, we're ready to be advisors.
Right.
And I'm like, we need to wait until you're at least 5 years out. So, because we've changed the rules here in CNH. So we love your enthusiasm. Keep on.
But they want to be that positive experience that they had.
Exactly.
Well, sure.
Exactly. And so we're trying to figure out ways to make sure that they don't disconnect before they are old enough to actually be the advisors, because it's amazing.
I think sometimes some Kiwanis clubs get a new alumni from Key Club or Circle K, and they right away put them, you can be our advisor. Well, no, let them be a Kiwanian for a while first. Let them.
It's not really any different when new blood comes in and says, hey, you're the new president. Come on in. I mean, you got to let them enjoy that. You got to let them get their foundation. I agree 1,000%, Eric. Absolutely.
And that was a big thing, even when I was governor. There was a big thing. We always had a push for new members, which is great, which we need. But my goal was to get those members to become Kiwanians. And that's basically by background and experience and education, and go to this project and that project. And, too many times we open a new club and we say, here you go. Thank you. Thank you for joining. We don't teach them about protocol. We don't teach them about traditions. We don't teach them about Robert's rules. We've got to do better at making new members and new clubs into Kiwanis people, that willing to take on the job, willing to take on the next role, willing to go to the next level at the division, or, run a project. How do we get people to encourage that take charge of something. And you maybe you want to sit back for the first year or so, but then come on, you try it.
Right.
It doesn't. I'm sorry,
Eric. In the industry, ladies and gentlemen, we call that a tease, because when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to actually get into how members become Kiwanians, not just a Kiwanis member. Quick shout out to Kathy Zemansky, who said I should be looking outside her window right now. It must be snowing in Erie. Maritza says, the heck with that. That's why I moved to Las Vegas. Dr. Bob Larson, our good friend, says, season's greetings to my Kiwanis family and friends from the dark and stormy Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Hey, Dr. Larson, Bob Larson, what do you call someone who's from Michigan? This is a bad early. We call him cold? Even better. We call him a Meshuggah. John, take us to break. We'll be right back.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchy's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Hey honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest, dear.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life. All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Our guest today, Mr. Eric Paul from balmy upstate New York today. No snow today, apparently, but Kathy's getting it all in Erie, which is only about
Kathy's getting it. I'm going to get it later.
Yeah. We are talking about snow, right? Anyway, that's another topic. Anyway, Eric Paul joins us talking about life as Kiwanian. He was talking about how we need to have members become Kiwanians, but I also want to remind everybody that Eric is also an international trustee candidate. So we'll get to that a little bit as well. Doc, I'd like to go back to what Eric was talking about before we went to break, and that is having, new members, what it means to become a Kiwanian versus being a member of Kiwanis. So can you expand on that, if you don't mind?
So I as we were talking about that, you're speaking my language, and even though you were a governor in, 2014, 15, right? We're still dealing with those same issues today. And, when I was governor in 22, 23, part of that was, how do you educate? It's like really thinking about, how do we go through the educational process to make sure that people are coming into Kiwanis with a full understanding that you're a Kiwanian, you're not just a volunteer. And I know membership education to you is really important. So what are some of the things that you have been trying to do?
Well, I think we have to maintain the club coach position.
Mhm.
And the one-on-one, when people join, we know everybody joins with a sponsor, but we've got to make sure they're responsible. That the sponsor knows they're responsible for bringing that person along beyond just the swearing at them and giving them a pin, and give them their 2 minutes of commercial at a Kiwanis meeting. You've got to make sure they come to a first project. They don't show up for a couple of weeks. Say, hey, how you been? Everything okay?
Mhm.
Get them to get on a committee, take part in a role in being in charge of something, and not just being somebody who just shows up for dinner or shows up for breakfast or whatever else. We just did a big Thanksgiving project. We've done it. My club's oldest project. The Lions did Christmas, so we do Thanksgiving, and we have our key clubs and our Builders Club collect all the food, and all the kids bring in canned goods. But the point is, then we all get together and sort it all and box it, and we give everybody a role, or try to give everybody a role, to get people involved in the nuts and bolts of the project. And even though the same fellow's been chairing it for a few years, they ask people who may not have gone out on their own to deliver before to do it, and you've got to find the house, find the address, knock on the door, and here you go. And a lot of that gives you a great feeling when you do that, and people are so thankful and so appreciative. Then you that feeling is being a Kiwanian, I think. And you've got to can't just be there to sort. You've got to be there to deliver, and you've got to have
that's so key. One of the things when we bring in new people, oftentimes it's because we want younger people because they have stronger backs. And we're tired. We're tired of setting up the stage. So we want to have a young person who can come set up the stage. Or we love having key clubbers because they're great at cleaning up.
Oh.
And it's like, that's not why people join the club. They join us because they love what we do and they want to be a part of it. So when you're talking about that, it's like you're inviting someone to be a Kiwanian, to bring them along, to be a equal person at the table with you.
You've got to give them a job to do. You've got to make them part of your team. You've got to make them feel a part of the group, something more than just, come by and watch what goes on. Come on, do this, do that, whatever. And too often with our key club and Circle Kers, we had our Circle Kers come from the local youth from the University of Buffalo here to help us sort and put them together, which was great because they did a lot of the lifting and carrying and whatever. But even the stuff just being there, interacting with all of us, a lot of us only see younger people as our kids or our grandkids, not equals. But getting more. Too many Kiwanis clubs treat their key club as labor. They'll bust all the tables. We can all sit in the corner. No, that's not the way it's supposed to run. But
when you bring in new members, they continue to do that. When they bring a key clubber in, they continue to treat them like key clubbers, not understanding that when they make that transition, you need to make that transition with them.
Mm-hmm.
As you're saying, you got to give them a job that's meaningful. You bring them forward.
Make them part of the team. You've got to make them feel wanted and inclusive, and then they'll come back the next year. I know these Circle Kers who have come last year. They came back this year. They said we had a good time. It was a nice evening, and then we had pizza and soda, whatever else. And that's the kind of stuff that makes you want to come back and do the project again, or do another project like that, not just flipping a burger or whatever, taking money and serving hot dogs, but being part of the team in the back that's doing this and that, and it becomes a club. It becomes a group.
That all goes back to the word we talked about before, and that's experience.
Experience.
Right? You give them the experience. You give them the taste of being part of it. We all want to be part of something, right? Regardless of what it is, we all want to be part of it. And everything that you guys talked about, and you said it before, when you were governor, we're still talking about these same issues. I mean, for all the years that we've all been in Kiwanis, what lieutenant governor in their term didn't stand up and say, my governor wants us to build clubs and get new members? Every year we got to do that, right? So that hasn't changed in 100+ years since Kiwanis has been founded. But how do we do that? And I think many clubs that have been around for a long time, and I say that because I belong to 2 out here in Virginia Beach, and I think Some clubs rest on their laurels of what they've done in the past, and they are not forward thinking about how the community has changed in terms of needs.
They become knife and fork check writing clubs.
There you go. Exactly.
People don't want to join. Young people don't want to join knife and fork check writing clubs.
That's right.
You want to do hands-on service.
Yep, I totally agree. So, it's just refreshing. After a while, when you hear yourself say it or you talk about it at a club, you feel like you're a broken record. And although Val and I have talked about this topic on this show so often in the 3 years that we've been doing this show with many different people, I hope our audience is realizing that it's not just your club that's going through these struggles, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big topic of conversation day in and day out, administration to administration. And yet there are clubs that are succeeding in growing and having their Kiwanis members become Kiwanians. And Eric is an example of why he's on the show sharing this. So if you're listening and you're a club that is struggling or is new, or these are the things we offer here to make sure that your club gets off that wrong side of the ledger and can grow and bring in the younger blood, not just to schlep boxes, as they say from the neighborhood I come from.
But it's true. I think that you've got to do more than just have them come and do mediocre things. You've got to give them more. And Kiwanis has got to emphasize when they get a new member that you've got to sit down and give them more of a background on what Kiwanis is really all about, or how your club works, or how your club should work, or whatever. Get them to come to a divisional, meet people from other clubs beyond their own. And it's got to be more than just a half-hour seminar at a workshop at a convention. Becoming a Kiwanian is a extended experience. I mean, I enjoy going to different workshops and hearing different trainers because I think I always pick up something from everybody who does it. Everybody different who does it. They get a different perspective, and that's important.
I would love to hear some best practices, and I'm going to share one from my Kiwanis Club of Chesapeake that we just started doing this year. They came up with a checklist of activities that new members, like attending a board meeting and going to X number of this, and they have to do it with their sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
And then the president or some representative at that function or whatever item they're on, they have to sign off that new member XYZ with their sponsor actually went to a board meeting or sat. So the Chesapeake Club, we installed 4 new people last month, and I know 3 of them have already started going through their checklist now. So that's something that Chesapeake is doing, so that it's an education on wheels, if you will, because they're not just hearing, we have this. They're doing it. They're part of it, and they're getting acclimated to all the different aspects for them to find their place, right? To find where they're comfortable, to find where they want to settle in to become the Kiwanian that we want them to be. So that's something our club has started doing. If anybody's interested, just reach out to me, and I can get a template of the form. And I'll be happy to send it out. You can just email me at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com.
And so, Eric Paul, what is one of the pieces of advice that you would give that is best practice?
I think if you're a sponsor, make sure you keep up with your sponsoree. Is that the right word? Sponsor individual. Keep up. Make sure they sit with different people at events. Get the whole picture of what Kiwanis is all about, not just war stories, but just like it's similar now to my volunteer fire company I've been in for 40 some years. When a new member joins, someone else is usually there to be their mentor, okay, and show them how to do this and how to do that and how to do this, and not just the physical stuff, but the hands-on stuff, and then even the social stuff when it comes back to when we're in the building. It's the same thing in Kiwanis. Someone should be assigned to make sure they don't leave that new person on their own, and they include them in the whole package of what goes on. Then that makes them feel more a part of the team, and then they're willing to do more work for us and more work to help us out, and maybe ask their friend to join too. I think that's a big part of it.
And, Chucky put something in the comments, and I thought that was a pretty amazing one, is they have a new member badge, which looks different from the permanent badge. and they do assignments, and they earn their permanent badge.
Oh,
And
wow.
so,
do clubs
you
still
take
wear the
people
big round badges?
some
'Cause there-
do.
There,
My
Some
Virginia
do.
there are
Beach
some
Club
that have
does.
a life member one, some that have a new member one, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And I want to do a shout out to the Grantville Allied Gardens. They do something that I think is absolutely phenomenal. That's down in San Diego, California. And so what they do is they have the normal steps, the checklist, but they also have something where you have to be able to name 10 members in the club and be able to say what they do and what something favorite about them is. So
Wow.
you don't know what 10 members they're going to be at the meeting that you're going to have to name those members. And it is fascinating because people get nervous and they're spending all their time because they really want to get that permanent badge. So they're meeting and greeting beforehand. They're serving dinner so that they can meet people. They sign up to serve dinner because that's how they get that face. And it's a fast track into that club, and it's been fascinating to watch that.
Some clubs still do the aprons. Remember the aprons, the white apron?
Where they get those signs.
Everybody's got to sign. That way you get to meet everybody. You got to make sure everybody signs your apron. And you'll become a real member until everybody's signed, and then you retire your apron. I had one of my governor's visits. I went to a club that they had a big service project, a big pancake dinner. What's that? The biggest Kiwanis project ever, the most popular. And they all signed my apron because I had to go make sure I go and met all of them, and then I retired it and have it, in a special place here to get to meet everybody and who they are. And like you said, that's a great idea. Having pick 5 or 10 of them, and you have to say who they are, what they do, and what they're into, what their passion is. That's a great idea, Bill.
Herman Plasky just joined us from 29 Palms. We'd like to call Herman Mr. C's Candy.
Hello, Herman.
This is his time of year where he's probably out hustling chocolate like it's nobody's business right now.
Well, hooked on that. Well, my brother used to bring it back from California with him, and then of course at international conventions, I always grab a sucker.
Absolutely. And Armando put in the chat that that little bit of trivia that Mr. C's used to belong to a Kiwanis club in Los Angeles. And so it's like Orville Rittenbacher in the Indy area. And so that it's an amazing thing. And I think of, go back to our 6 degrees of separation. I think almost every club in every district has that someone. And I think we need to be tapping into them because it's just something special about Kiwanians. And he's at Herman's at Stater Brothers. So Stater Brothers is like Kroger's on the East Coast, or trying to think of King Supers in the Midwest.
It's Christmas or Hanukkah shopping or Festivus shopping for next week.
Festivus, right? Yeah. The fact that he's listening to us in the middle of a supermarket is very impressive, by the way. I will share that.
Well, that's a dedicated Kiwanian.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we go to our next break, I want to set you up, Eric. Let's talk about your international trustee candidacy.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you've held multiple positions on both the club and district levels. Now you want to expand even further. So what was your thought process to want to now get into the international level of leadership?
I've watched some of the others and those who came out to counsel our district, what they did. Some of our people that went through the ranks and went up through the chairs and international, and and being in New York, I had to wait, my turn, whatever, because Peter was, Tom DiGiulio, and then Peter Mancuso went through the steps.
I remember Tom Giulio when I was back in Jersey. Wow, there's a name from the past.
And going back, I go back to I remember Steve Hart and Jerry Cristiano is a good friend of mine.
Jerry also, I remember Jerry.
Watch how they did things, how they enjoyed the experience, and then how they did it. And I said, well, maybe this is something I want to do down the road after I've been governor, and that's why I kind of worked the steps to it, and got the endorsement from in New York. You have to be endorsed by the past governors and then the district, and that kind of thing. But I think it's something I have the time and the commitment to move on and and do, and it's something I certainly enjoy and have been for the past umpteen years. But I think there's still something I can give. That's how I look at it.
Which what's the word I'm looking for? What area are you going to be hoping to represent?
Well, wherever they assign me, large district or small.
That's true. That's true.
Wherever I get assigned, obviously, but hopefully I can help and listen first and then give advice or give input. Because everybody's different. Everybody has different backgrounds. Everybody has different traditions in their districts, and I first work to familiarize myself with those, and then recommend how they can, I think, or how we can work together to improve them, because that's the whole point, right? It's all to not work harder, but work smarter, as gaining membership, building clubs, and making people into Kiwanians so that they stay around. And same thing with events. Some districts, I know you and Kelneva have 2 midwinters.
Yes.
And where we have the one and other districts for a full weekend, but other districts, I know Jersey has a 1-day conference at a community college. Pennsylvania has a 1-night thing. Everybody's different. Everybody has different agendas, and work with them and how they can improve and swap ideas. I think the best thing Kiwanis clubs do when they go to divisionals is trade ideas. So rather than reinventing the wheel, we do better projects.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is what they do. Hey, they'll let us borrow their meat raffle wheel. That's a big project up here. And they do it. They've done it for 20 years. They can show us how they do it. That kind of thing. I think.
Does anybody steal bells and gavels anymore?
Yeah. My president lost his induction night. He just got it back this week.
Oh my goodness.
Yet there are some divisions and clubs that just don't want to be bothered with that little fun. I mean, so much.
I had a guy who was a corrections officer, club president. He would cuff himself to his gong when they hosted a divisional, because he would carry it to the buffet line with him, because he would.
Oh wow!
He wouldn't leave it. He knows it would be gone, or pieces of it would be gone. He'd come back, and the center post would be missing. You pick up his gavel, the gong, and you just get the seal, the center post. But people still do that. Not banners so much anymore, but gavels are gone.
Right. All right. What I'd like to do, Doc Val, is step aside a little bit early. We're closing on 20 of. I want to leave enough time on the back end for everything else we need to do, if that's okay. So everybody, keep those comments coming. You notice behind me, I changed the background, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to have a fancy Delancey jersey of Kiwanis Connects, just send me an email, kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com, for all your ordering details. And Eric, we have a challenge to other past international trustee candidates who have come on this very show. Mm-hmm. We want to envision when you win. Notice, when you win.
I like that.
We would love to see you all going across the stage wearing your Kiwanis Connects jerseys. So send me although now I have your email, I'll send you some ordering information, because I would love to see Val and you, and who else do we have? Mary, we had on it. All of these international trustees sporting our Kiwanis Connects jersey. Boy,
that would be a beautiful thing.
That would be terrific. All right, we're going to be right back. We got so much more to do. So, folks, don't go anywhere. Hey, everybody. Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connect show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connect show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity. For every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So, if you want more information and get involved, just drop us an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. That's kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success.
wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchi's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
I want to really thank all our great sponsors. We have gotten so lucky. In the very beginning, when we started doing this show, Aaron, you remember it was like Val and Andy Bank and Trust making this happen. And so it is so cool to have our bookvendors.com and Comfort Care and Melissa Atwell and all these folks. And it really lends to people want to know more about what we're doing. They want to support shows like this. And so, Eric, I am so thrilled that you said yes as we're going through this. And,
how can I say no to you, Val? Come on.
Oh, and I didn't even have to pay you for that. But, one of the main reasons that we're doing stuff a little bit differently, and someone said, oh my gosh, you're bringing on your competition. And it's like, no, I'm bringing on my friends because we've all been together a really long time in trying to make Kiwanis better. And so I value you so much in what you do and your approach to life. And so you and I were together in one of the first blitzes, I think, in 2016, 2017?
Chicago?
Yeah, we were in Chicago together. And I think that's right. That speaks volumes to the leadership and the groups of folks that are running this year for International Trustees. We're out there. None of us are brand new surprises. People know you. They've seen your work. They see how amazing you are. And I'm hoping that continues on when you're a trustee. That I got some bad advice from somebody. And I'll just put it out there. The person said to me, oh, it's so competitive and you just wait till people bring issues to you. And so that first year of being trustee, you just kind of sit back. And I was like, ick, no. And so
I don't think either one of us are sit back and watch type of people. But
exactly.
But then when do you jump up? Your second year? I don't get, who knows?
Yeah, and it's like the last year when you want to run for VP. I don't think so, right? Yeah. And so when we start in, what is it, June 27th, because you get elected June 27th, and then you start almost immediately. What are some of the things that you really want to work on?
I want to, once I'm assigned my districts or committees and committees, I want to get a good background of speak to those who maybe counsel them the year before, what they thought their strengths and weaknesses were, what they would have done differently, dealing with different issues if they had to deal with any issues. And then, a real heart-to-heart with the current leadership of the Kiwanis district and saying, what do you think my role is in working with you? What do you expect from me? What can a trustee do for you? That seems to come first, not the other way around. It's great to visit and to enjoy their weekend and the celebration of their year is district convention. But what do they see my role as being? I think I'd really be a listener first. And same thing a little bit on the international board level when we first meet in October. It's get to meet everybody. I think I know a lot of the people who are there already, and I haven't met all the rest of our fellow candidates. Val, I'm not sure if you have, but I look forward to that and getting to know everybody's got strengths and everybody's got their the things that they want to see done. I'm a big sponsored youth supporter. I will go to the wall for our SOPs, especially Circle K and Key Club. I mean, there's no question. There's service projects. If it costs money, it costs money. But we should not do anything to diminish our support of them. That's because of my background in the two, especially Circle K. I mean, Key Club opened my eyes, but Circle K made me really walk the walk. So I'll always be supportive there. And the club experience, the local club's got to be the capstone of Kiwanis. It's got to be the basis of everything. And your club's got to operate right. And some clubs sing and some don't. Do clubs still sing in California and Vegas and Virginia?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. And some of the songs are hilarious.
It's a neat tradition. And new members like, what the heck? What are you doing? But I think it's a great idea. It's a great tradition, basically, that people like to do. It's part of the club experience. And expand our footprints, not just what we do, but what we offer. And especially to make sure, like I said, our new members are looking for hands-on service. We have to make sure we do enough of that. Obviously, there's going to be the check writing, the scholarship writing. My club just took on a new fundraiser because we want to up our scholarship numbers. Rather than 3, we want to give 5 or 6 and more money. So we're doing a new fundraiser. It's just, up our ante. And people say, what's this for? Well, it's for Kiwanis, but we're giving it all the proceeds go back to our high school students. Oh yeah. People buy, the raffles, or buy the hot dog from us rather than from the other vendor. I just think that we have to expand people to get people to go to a class or a workshop and see the bigger picture, or go to another club and see the differences and the similarities. So,
you touch on something, and a lot of clubs have gone to predominantly being fundraising clubs. And they sometimes forget to put the service back in. And I think it's so important that we come up with what that service is and what it's going to cost, and then move forward with some really unique fundraisers.
Sure.
Because they are fun. They really help us all fit together. And it's as if you were reading my mind, because one of the fundraisers that we're doing for the Kiwanis Rose Float is right up the Voices alley. So I'm going to hand it over to you to talk about our amazing fundraiser for the Rose Float.
Yeah, Rose Float Kiwanis Club, first annual golf classic, Friday, March 6th. Brookside Golf Course, Brookside Rose Bowl Golf Course. I'm going to tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, John has the logo up right now. He's going to crawl the website right there. Kiwanis Rose Float annualgolfclassic.com is the registration website. We have a plethora of celebrity athletes that are coming. Right now, raise your hand, unless you're driving, of course. Please don't raise your hand. Are you familiar with Willie Gault? If you are, raise your hand. Are you familiar with names like Byron Chamberlain from the Denver Broncos? Who else? There are plenty. Listen, there's 20 celebrity athletes listed there that you have an opportunity to play golf with. We have foursomes, corporate sponsorships. Everything is on the website, so check it out. If you have any questions, you can scroll to the bottom of the screen, and you can also just fill in the information with your question. We will get back to you. If you just want to golf, hey, we got golf packages. We're going to give away trips, but the night before the event, big pairings party. That's where you get to hobnob with these celebrities. If you're a corporate sponsor, you'll be able to pick the name of the celebrity that's going to be playing in your foursome. The bottom line is this, ladies and gentlemen. The net result proceeds go to the Kiwanis Club, the Kiwanis Rose Float Club, to help bring in those 4,000 to 6,000 volunteers that are needed each and every year when building all those floats you see on television. So if you're a business, if you're an individual who want to, even if you're not a golfer, we got ways we can take your money. We can have ways that we can have you donate to us, not just take it, but donate it. So please check it out. Go to that website right now, Kiwanis Rose Float, annualgolfclassic.com. Support the Rose Float Club. And I will be out there March 6th, 5th and 6th for the pairings party, because yours truly is the celebrity host. I'll be hosting the pairings party, the golf tournament, seeing all my friends out there in Calneva. I'm excited to come back. So please come on out, check out that registration. It's the first ever. Let's make it the beginning of many, many more to come. Thank you, Doc Val.
You bet. And I want to let people know, Eric Paul, if you play golf, anybody plays golf,
Not well.
When you don't have to, when you've got a celebrity on your team.
There you go.
That's right.
And so it is inexpensive to fly into the Burbank Airport at that point in time, or the LAX.
John Wayne Burbank Airport, right?
Yeah, that is. Well, John Wayne is down in Orange County.
Orange County.
And
okay.
so that would be the Bob Hope Burbank Airport.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
No, we got a lot of people that we name stuff after. They give us money, we'll name it. No worries. So, but yeah, I want to tell people the reason why we keep sharing this is a great opportunity to be a part of one of the largest service projects that Kiwanis does. Over 65 million people will watch the Rose Parade on January 1st. And to watch Happy for Service go down the parade route, hopefully it'll be award-winning float this year. It's nothing better than to know that you were part of making history happen. We've been doing it over 100 years and being a part of that process. So it makes me excited when we talk about that.
Talking about tradition.
Yeah.
100 years, that's pretty good on tradition.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And traditions are so important in Kiwanis. And so, Eric Paul, I know that it's way after lunchtime, and this hour has gone so fast. But thank you. Is there anything that you wanted to make sure that you shared before we started into the next part of what we do?
I'm looking forward to hearing that. But thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the call to do this, and I appreciate that. And I look forward to watching everybody else in the next number of weeks. And now I know what I'm doing at noon on Fridays next little bit. So,
and please feel free to share it with all your friends and family to watch as well.
I will.
And I will email you information on the jerseys. Because the proceeds for those jerseys help keep the show on the air as well. So so please share that as well. All right, John,
I'm going to get a hold of that book vending company too.
Okay, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. Connor, I will send you his information. I have it, so I'll send that to you as well. All right, John, it's time for Melissa Atwell and Mental Health Moment.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell here with your Mental Health Moment. Let's talk about normalizing the conversation around mental health. Mental health isn't dramatic, it's healthy. We have our physical health, our mental health, emotional health. Naming what we feel takes away its power. So start with honesty today. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. By the way, a little side note with Melissa, some great, exciting fundraising news coming real soon with Melissa. Online donation campaign where people who make donations will be able to get a 5-day, 4-night complimentary stay in Cancun. Be on the lookout. All right. Time for Doc Val's Kiwanis Wow Moments.
Wow, I love it when we do that. It almost makes me feel like Wonder Woman. But if you're driving right now, I don't want you to stop and look at the screen. But everybody knows about the large hurricanes that hit Jamaica, and right now Jamaica is working on a Kiwanis Cares project called Rebuilding Jamaica. Even our incoming president-elect, and I get choked up because she lost her roof. And, you know, the one thing that she said was so important to her wasn't that losing a roof, losing in the garden. It was making sure that her two pets we're still there. And when she found that out, everything else is fixable. And everybody that I've talked to, including Cynthia Blackman, who will be a guest on our show, who is governor right now of Canada and EC&C in January, they're all saying that by giving and helping, that gives them hope, and they are a strong, resilient people. So if you have an opportunity and you want to download information, you can make a donation to Rebuilding Jamaica through Kiwanis, which is probably the strongest organization in the islands at this point in time. Right now, you can give up to $200,000 in one give. So collect in your whole district and then make one deposit, which means that all those fees are capped off and you don't have to pay extra money. And then their foundation's goal is $800,000. I would like to blow that out of the water by the time we have Cynthia back here with us in January. So thank you for putting that up there, John. And then I have one more thing, because I have to do a special shout out to a friend, because he knocked it out of the park over Thanksgiving. And Eric Paul reminded me of this. Marcel, who is the governor of Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, congratulations on breaking your record. 1,050 deep fried turkeys were given out over the Thanksgiving day to the local communities. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go.
He didn't try delivering them out of a helicopter, did he?
They just got more members to deliver and go get them picked up. But
that's an Ohio thing, I think.
Right, yes. See, Eric knew my connection there. Less is more with Les Nessman. That's all.
Oh my God!
JRP and Simpson, one of the
humanity,
one of the best ever episodes of television sitcom history. Wow. Well, that's got 1,000 turkeys. That's tremendous.
1,050. They broke a record.
1,050.
What was the old record? 1,049?
No, I think it was just a little like 1,025. So they significantly.
That's a lot of turkey.
Right on.
Yeah, we need to get Guinness Book of World Records out there, because it's an unofficial world record. Okay. And I think next year we need to help get Guinness out there. I think that across Kiwanis, we were doing amazing projects like that. We just don't advertise it. And
absolutely,
we're the best kept secret. That's a big mistake. Kiwanis is the best kept secret of the service group. So we don't do that.
Post it on your Facebook pages, ladies and gentlemen. Tag Kiwanis Connects. We'll pick it up and we'll share it right here on this very shoe. All right, we are down to about 2 minutes. So, Eric, I know you came prepared with some homework. Give me one of your bad dad jokes, if you please.
You know, I wanted to buy some camouflage pants to wear, but I couldn't find any.
But you couldn't find.
What do you call a rock group with 4 guys who don't sing?
A rock group with 4 guys who don't sing?
Yeah.
My best friends. I don't know.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, my God. John, hit the intro. So for Hanukkah, my wife purchased me a whole new stack of bad dad jokes. So for all you that are going to moan and groan out there, you can moan and groan at her, not at this guy, because I'm just
gotta have a moan and groan.
Now I took out 10 cards, but because Hanukkah is 8 and we're short on time, I'm getting rid of 2 cards and going to give you 8 quick ones. Here you go. Why is beer never served at a math party? Why is beer never served at a math party? Because you can't drink and derive.
Oh,
come on now. Think about it. Okay. What's ET short for? What's ET short for?
Extraterrestrial.
So we can fit in the spaceship. That's why he's short. Come on now. No. I didn't say these were good.
That one.
You like that one? All right. Then all is good. There you go. All right. What is a banana split called when you drop it from the top of a skyscraper? What is a banana split called? Oh, Andy, oh my. Yes. Yes, Eric. Banana splat. Good job, sir. You can come back anytime now because you answered one of the jokes. All right. Did you hear about the comedian who was decapitated? Oh, did you see this on the news? This was terrible. This was absolutely terrible. Apparently, he laughed his head off. Okay, next. What Come on now. They don't keep it. Feel free to use these at dinner and over Christmas, folks. All right. What did the volcano say to it? Val's still laughing about the decapitated comedian. I don't know what that says about Val. What did the volcano say to his wife? What did the volcano say to his wife? I love you. Okay. I know that was I know. All right. How did Noah light the ark? How did Noah light the ark? Remember, there was no lights. It was all that water. How did he light it? Well, of course, he used floodlights. Of course. Come on now. Should have seen that one coming.
Yeah.
I think you're coming to the end of these jokes, aren't you?
I am on day number 7.
Oh, yeah.
Day number 7 right here, ladies and gentlemen. What is the capital of Washington?
Washington.
What is the capital of Washington?
W.
Yes, sir, John. Thank you. W is the capital of Washington. Okay.
Oh.
Come on now. All right. Last one for day 8 of Hanukkah. Why did the peanut call the police? Why did the peanut call the police? Because it was assaulted. Come on. All right, that does it. We're going to plant those in the garden. Well, Val left at about 4 of the 8, so I'll give myself a 50%. Eric, it was a pleasure to meet you online today, sir. Hopefully we'll actually do it in person. When you want to get out of the snow, Virginia Beach is very nice. Although we froze our ass off on Monday at 19, it is currently 65 right now in Virginia Beach. So we're having a summer storm. All right, Doc Val, close it up for us.
'Tis the season. We've been celebrating for weeks, and I do not want that spirit to end. And so I wish all of you who are lighting the menorah a very, very happy Hanukkah. To all of you who are doing Festivus and any other celebration, just keep celebrating. Bring that positive spirit to light. And Merry Christmas to all of you who celebrate Christmas. I can't think of a better way for us to end than this year, than to bring that spirit into the new year. So, Eric, how about you?
Sounds great, Val. I agree.
All right.
Next week's show, live from Pasadena, Doc Val will have her annual remote from Phoenix Decorating in the hangar, and we've got some special reporters who are going to be connected, roving around on the inside, saving Val that hassle this year. So make sure you check in with us. Aaron's Hour next week is going to be dark, but tomorrow, make sure you join me at 11 a.m. when guest Dr. Morris Elstein will be joining me from Coastal 757 Aesthetics, some new technology to help men win back their love life in the bedroom. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Congrats to Old Dominion for winning their bowl game this week. Thank you, everybody. See ya.